Hey everybody, it's Jackie Hale again, Equine Sports Council, and I've got another podcast. My partner Shane Darnell is on, as well as Rebecca Cooper of Ledyard Farm in New York. And also joining us today as a special guest is Tony Lee, who lives in Birmingham, Alabama, just down the road from me. So we're neighbors of sort. Hey Tony, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So Tony's going to tell us about the stallion he has got in the New York Stallion auction later this month. And then they're going to chat a little bit about some of the happenings in the Morgan industry.
Oh, hey, Tony.
Hey.
We're on the, I'm sharing my screen, I believe. I'm going to double check. Oh, I am. And so we're on the main page of the New York Morgan Stallions and the auction page. We've got astronomically here. I'm going to click on it in a second. But did you have a mare that you bred him to? What's the, because this is like Cal Lee is the end of your name. How did that come about?
Well, yeah, Astro is out of Liberation Starbright, who was the world champion mare, Park Saddle 3-year-old world champion, 4-year-old Park Saddle champion. I bought her after her 4-year-old year and showed her an under saddle, believe it or not, a long time ago when I could ride and in harness. Our best results were we were Reserve World Amateur Park Harness, and then we were World Park Harness Amateur Champion one year. Shortly after that, I was approached by Rick Lane, who is a very astute breeder, and made an offer that I couldn't refuse. I had no intention of ever selling her. I wanted to keep her as a brood mare, but I ended up selling her, but I had one condition, is that I got a foal from her. And that foal ended up to be Astro. So that's how I ended up with Astro. And many people have said, and I totally agree, is Starbright is one of the, if not the greatest mares in our breed. I just loved her to death, and she had so many great traits, and Astro has taken on a lot of those traits. In fact, he reminds me a lot of his mother every day when I'm around him. So that's how I ended up with Astro. And unfortunately, when he was a yearling here in Alabama in the field, he injured himself pretty badly on one of his feet. Luckily, we had a great vet and rehabilitated him. He's pretty much normal, but it pretty much put an end to any thoughts of him having a show career. So he started working as a 2-year-old at Broadmoor, and we ended up starting him off as a breeding stallion at 2 because didn't want to push him into the show ring, because even though he did improve enough that he might have been able to do it, we just didn't want to risk it. So we started him off as a breeding stallion in that direction, and luckily it turned out to be a good move.
Did you know at that early of an age as a 2-year-old that he was going to be as incredibly successful as a sire as he was? Was it, he's not going to show, so we'll just try this? Or did you know then that he was going to be the most popular stallion of our day?
Well, I had hoped. To me, he was, because of his mother. His mother was so phenomenal. And his dad, Futurity French Command. It was a great cross. And his attitude, like you see, his best feat is to be turned loose at Liberty, because he can just drive crazy, and he has a fun attitude. He just loves to snort and blow and play, and then he's like a puppy dog too. I think maybe I spoiled him quite a bit when he was little, and then especially when he got hurt, he was stall bound for like 4 months totally in a cast, and we babied him quite a lot. So he likes to be a pet.
How old is he now, Tony?
He, believe it or not, oh gosh, I thought of this New Year's Day. He is 22 now.
Is he really?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah. He's had some big ones here. We've got his bio page up from the Stallion Service Auction. He's Flambeau, Get Busy, Centaurus Rising, Ledyard Perfect Manhattan, Anomaly. Yeah, I mean some big ones he's put around the ring.
Yeah, he was like I said, we bred him to some nice mares that first year when he was 2, and his first crop was pretty impressive. And his early crop, Love Her Madly was I think out of the first crop, which was another mare that did very well. And then Get Busy and Flambeau, all those were early on. They're have quite long histories themselves and are getting up there in age. So it's hard to believe it's been so long.
Rebecca, can we reveal your location today?
Yes, I'm hanging out with Astro right now. I'm in my truck at Broadmoor. I have a 2-year-old by Astro, which I just delivered here, Ledyard Thunderbolt, and she's very cool. Look for her this year, and she's here hanging out by her dad. So I told Astro, we said hi.
Right before we jumped on this video call, I said, Tony, can you talk about what Astros get are like from ground up to leather? And he said, I bet Rebecca could probably do that.
We've had a lot of Astro in our breeding program. Some of our most successful mares are by Astro themselves, are brood mares, such as Dutchmore's Joy, who's just been a outstanding brood mare at Ledyard Farm. She was a reserve world champion herself, and then her babies have been really exciting for us. And then we use Astro as well. And I said, just dropped off one of the next best 2-year-olds you're all going to see this year. What traits do you notice, Tony? And I'm happy to jump in as well. What characteristics with his offspring do you think have been consistent?
Well, I think so many people that have had them have commented on how personable they are and how much they like people. They always seem to have a great attitude as far as show horse mentality, and then great to be around when they're in the stall or you want to have like a pet. So the best of both worlds is what I've sort of experienced. But you've had so many. You bring them from the very beginning on up. So you're more of the one to tell us about that than me.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success for them, and quite a few even junior Astro horses, 3 and 4-year-olds with junior exhibitor riders. Then we've had Ledyard's Midas Touch and Ledyard's Lucky Lucas, that have been paired up with very young riders, even when the horses themselves were 3 and 4. So they've definitely been very trainable, and those kids have won world championships with them. So both competitive and very easy to handle and work with.
Yeah, and I can echo that, Rebecca. I had an Astro horse that we put a young kid on, and the horse was I don't know, 4 years old. Sorry guys, the line's ringing. There we go. 4 years old, and he and the Astro son went on to win I think 2 reserve worlds. So they did. The horse did very well for the kid.
And I'm sure Shane knows Ledyard Perfect Manhattan, as well. Yeah. We call him Neptune, which I think he has 6 first or second world titles now, and often with his, at the time junior exhibitor, and I think maybe now youth rider. So that's been great too.
So Tony, you guys mind if we transition into some of Tony's volunteer work, right? Tony, as president of AMHA.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, I like to volunteer. I'm to a fault. I'm always volunteering. So,
what do you have? Two more years left on your term?
It's a yearly term. I can be elected for 2 more times if the board chooses to do so. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully they will. You and I were talking earlier this week and commenting about the registry report that was in your president's letter. The numbers look really positive, but I mean, can you want to just summarize it for what we're seeing in our breed right now?
Yeah, we're very happy. In fact, Erica just finished tabulating all the numbers for 2020, which, as we know, was a weird year, but we registered the most horses in 2020 since 2009. So
Wow.
since about that time, each year, the numbers have crept up each year, which is a great thing. It's been a positive growth stint, but the fact that last year was the most since that time is very encouraging. Transfers were great too. All the numbers, transfers, registrations were up from the year before, and last year they were up from the year before that. So I think I don't know how or why, and we won't question it. We'll just enjoy it. But like the sales that recently happened, the one the
Amish sale that
superior sale was just
huge.
wild.
Yeah.
And it seems like private sales that we keep hearing about since Oklahoma and at Oklahoma have been just going crazy. So it's a great thing. Hopefully we can get back to more of a normal show season this coming year, and it's looking like we might be headed that way. So I think we're looking for a great 2021 on many fronts.
I agree. So we've got MHA elections around the corner.
Yep. In fact, I know the electronic ballots went out today for most people. You should get them in your email. All three positions are unopposed this year, but you still need to vote because we have to have a quorum for them to be valid. The information on that is on the website of those running, and a little bit about them, but all three of them have been great assets to the board, and I'm happy that they want to continue.
Yeah, Terry Sturm, this good friend of mine. Western region, I'm reading your letter here, Tony. Central region is James Grunberg, great person, and then Eastern region is Stephen Handy, another good friend of mine. All three of them. So
yeah, we had a board meeting. We have a board meeting every Monday, the first Monday of every month, scheduled. So if we need it, we have it. If we hopefully, which is never the case, don't have anything to cover, we can cancel it. But we had ours this past Monday, and it's such a great group of people. We all work together really well and get a lot done. So it's nice to have that positive experience now too.
Great. What are some of the things the board is working on these days and for 2021? Your main.
Well, we just finalized our budget for the year. It took us a little while with the weird situations of things going on. We ended up the year very much better off than we expected, with quite a lot of uncertainty as far as shows and ad revenue, which is how we pretty much, we depend a lot on our magazine ad revenue for our yearly budget. It turned out well. So we're just hoping to continue that into 2021 and continue moving forward, and hopefully we'll have more time to devote to other projects like ways to promote, and like last year, in addition to 2020 and the pandemic and everything. It seems like it's been so long, so much that went on, but we got the move to Kentucky finished. We got the museum set up at Pineland Farm, and working with Rick Lane up there for that. And if hopefully, I had hoped to do some sort of a video and some sort of tour of that last year, but as you know, travel was cut short. Hopefully we can do that this year. If you haven't had a chance to go see that, it is really a great location. And in normal times, when they do have people through there, it has quite a lot of tourist action through there, which we are very lucky to be able to have our horses showcased there.
Yeah, we're actually working with Rick for the auction. He donates French to the auction every year, and he's so busy with all the tours and everything that's going on with the museum up there. He hasn't had 2 seconds to touch base with us on stuff. So, but that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. They've done a great job setting it up, and hopefully a lot of people can be able to see it in the coming future.
Well, Tony, it was a pleasure talking to you today and catch up with you. You look nice and warm down in Alabama.
Well, it's kind of chilly down here today.
Oh, is it?
Define chilly. I'm not sure
Yeah.
we agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's 40s, I think.
Yeah,
Jackie,
it was
it-
30 this morning at 6 when I went to work. So it's
Oh.
and they yesterday they mentioned the dreaded S word, which
oh no.
Oh.
that makes everybody
no.
panic. But it was like flurries. It was to y'all. It would be like, what? What was that? But
Right, they
Yeah.
wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, I want to thank you too for participating in this, and kind of as the outsider looking in, I really want to commend you on your leadership of the Morgan Association, your transparency. You're doing a great job for them, and it's showing in the numbers. You know, your registrations are up, your transfers are up, sales are up, and I'm just really proud.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And when we do try to be as transparent as we can. I'm always here for any questions. Anybody's welcome to write me, text me, call me. We're an open book, and we're all together in it together for the same cause. We all love the Morgan horse, and that's our goal, is to do the most we can to promote the horse and the breed.
Right. On all the show horses, you know, we're all in this together for sure. So I just want to remind everybody that the website, nymorganstallions.com, will go live on January the 17th, correct, Shane?
Yeah, there'll be a link put out there for the silent auction. So you'll be able to start bidding on the horses online beginning the 17th.
And then the live auction is Saturday, January the 30th. You can register to bid online by going to the website. And I'm excited about attending in person and helping Shane out with hosting the live auction. So that'll be fun.
It should be fun.
And tell us a little bit about the physical location of it this year.
This is our first year doing it at the Del Lago Casino. So it's very central to the whole state. So we're hoping that people both from New England and Ohio and Pennsylvania and that sort of thing will still be able to attend. It's a relatively new casino to the area. So we're excited to use this for the first time, and we'll be a little limited in the number of people attending. So we do want people to get registered at the event, as we will of course be properly social distancing and that sort of thing. But there are some restaurants in the casino and some of the gambling floors open. So we hope that it could be a fun trip for people as well as attending the auction.
It sounds awesome.
Okay. Thanks again, Tony.
No problem.
I'm going to
Thank
stop
y'all.
the
I
recording.
appreciate all y'all are doing.
Perfect.
Stop recording. There we go.